Hello everyone, and welcome to How to Study and Learn a Discipline presented by the Office of Learning Services at Millersville University. This is adapted from How to Study and Learn a Discipline by Richard Paul and Linda Elder. Learning how to study a discipline begins with your major. For example, if you are a psychology major, then you need to learn how to think psychologically or from a psychological lens. This is the kind of thinking that we're going to be talking about today. The problem with studying within a discipline is that many people will approach their major and courses without thinking about the connections between their classes and about the connections between what is being taught in class to real-world application. That brings us to the goals of this workshop, which involve discussing how to think within your major and field and how to make connections between classes. By knowing how to think within your field, this should help you approach your studies and overall understanding of information. First, we will talk about identifying the underlying idea of your subject. All fields have underlying ideas that serve as the foundation and understanding this can help in your ability to think within this field. For example, psychology is the scientific study of human mind and its function. This is the foundation of that field. Here are a few more examples. Economics, the study of who gets what, when, and how. Physics, study of mass and energy and their interaction. Theology, study of theories of spiritual reality. These examples serve as short explanations of the basic foundation of various fields. Next, we're going to talk about one system and competing systems. This is referring to the ideas that there could be more than one underlying idea or system in a field. For example, psychology as a whole is very broad, and there are various competing fields in psychology. For example, in this field, there are various theories that are believed, and there is not necessarily a definitive right answer for everything. This has competing systems because there isn't a right answer all the time. It depends on which psychologist you speak to or believe in or follow. However, an example of one system may be in algebra in the mathematics field, because there is a proven way and a proven system for how to do algebra that is universally followed in the field. The next area we will talk about is the structure of a subject. Within each subject, there is a point of view, purpose, question at issue, information, interpretation, inference. And when you look for these ideas in your readings and lectures, it helps you understand the general subject. And when you look through your classes for this content, it helps you better understand the structure, and these different domains serve to help learners understand the different dimensions within a field. So far, we have discussed how to think within your field. Now we are going to discuss how to use thinking in relation to classwork. We are going to discuss various habits of disciplined learners. We will begin with reading. A disciplined learner reads their text in a manner that analyzes the logic of what they are reading. This means that readers should be reading closely and asking questions about what the reading is really saying and the message that is trying to get across, rather than all the finite details. Habits of a disciplined learner also relate to writing. This involves to writing ideas from readings or in class that are in your own words. This habit helps learners gauge how much of the content they actually understand by putting those ideas in your own words. This can also help commit those ideas to memory faster than writing down exactly what is written in the textbook. This is an excellent skill to work on to ensure learning. Next, we will discuss speaking. Being able to explain what you are learning to someone else, especially if they are not in your class, is an excellent way to assess your learning. Whether it's a phone call home or a conversation with a roommate, this is an excellent habit to work on to continually check your understanding through, once again, putting it in your own words and engaging with that material out loud. Next, we will talk about listening. This is especially relevant in the classroom. All students in the classroom are learning the same content, but each person brings their own unique experiences that impact their perceptions and ideas. It is important to listen to what others in the classroom are saying and question it, engage in a meaningful conversation about it with them, and listen to them and what they are saying, and it will foster a deeper engagement with the material and understanding overall. On a similar note, asking questions is essential, and it can be easy to slip into a pattern of having professors tell us the content or the answers. However, true learning comes from asking questions. Doing so promotes individual learning as well as for the whole class. You could learn a lot from other students' questions. When someone asks something, think to yourself, do you know the answer? What do you think it could be? Why do you think that you don't know? The key here is to ask yourself questions to keep yourself on track. Ask yourself, have you been promoting these habits of a disciplined learner through your reading, writing, speaking, listening, and question asking? Asking yourself these questions will allow you to analyze your behaviors and promote optimal learning. Now that we are reaching the end of this workshop, there are a few conclusions we have. The aim of this workshop is to give you an opportunity to think about the scope of your subjects and challenge the way you think within your field and within the systems of your field. And finally, that brings us to our last slide. The goal of this workshop was to focus on thinking in terms that promote more active engagement in your studies by making the subject more meaningful to you. This way of thinking will help you see connections in your field and promote overall more thorough understanding. That brings us to the end. Thank you for listening.